Normally, I like to wait, I don't know, 2 days before I make a video about my crazy health experience because it's slightly overwhelming and I need time to process and cry. So, I'm not doing that today. I'm like waiting a couple days. I'm just going to make the video. I already have tears. It's frustrating. I didn't even know why I was going to him in the first place, actually. I'd forgotten about the other situation. I had some blood work a while back that showed that I had elevated 5-HIAA, which can mean carcinoid syndrome. Mine was like 30 times what it should be. So, based on my research, whenever you have carcinoid syndrome, it's very rare. But if you, I don't have it, so that's good. But if you do have it, by the time you have the symptoms that I constantly have, it's like there's nothing you can do and it's too late. So I was like, I don't believe that. So, anyway, because my number was elevated, the GI doctor, my allergy doctor referred me to a GI doctor. I've since had another blood test done since I stopped the supplement, and I stopped it on my own because I did research and I found out that 5-HTP can be a histamine liberator. And so I was like, shoot, I'm taking medicine or supplement that might be causing my histamine to go wacky, wacky, wacky. I don't need that because I'm already wacky enough. So I stopped taking it. And then I talked to my primary care doctor and she said to stop taking that supplement. And she was encouraged that I was taking it while I had the blood work done. I stopped it like 3 days later. So she said that I should do the blood test again. So I did. And my 5-HIAA was 3.9 or something. And it's supposed to be below 6. Before, mine was 181.7. So anyway, the whole reason for my GI appointment today was to rule out carcinoid syndrome, which had already been ruled out. But I didn't know why I was going there, but I figure I have all these other issues, so what the heck? Might as well go and see what he's going to say. My phone's ringing. I hope that wasn't the doctor's office. So I went to the GI appointment, and he says he didn't have the updated blood work. So I told him it was normal, and I didn't even know why I was there in the first place. He's like, okay. So he looked up my chart, my latest blood work, and he said that it was good, and that was good, that he was fairly confident that I didn't have carcinoid syndrome. And I said, well, good, because I didn't think I did. But so I started telling him some of my symptoms, but it's like, I don't really often have GI symptoms unless I eat something that is high histamine, which is what I told him. So when I gave him a copy of my crazy history. I don't think he read it, number one, because if he did, he would have seen the improvement since starting certain supplements or pills and supplements. So I'm frustrated because, okay, so I start telling him some of my symptoms and it's like, okay, I always have a congested nose. Like it's always congested. Even taking 30 stinking milligrams of Claritin 2 times a day, I still right now cannot breathe through my nose. Something ain't right. So, I mean, that isn't that big of a deal to not be able to breathe clearly through your nose. I understand that, but that's like minor compared to my level of crazy. So it's like my nose is constantly stopped up and I have drainage going down like all the time. I told him, well, this was toward the end of the appointment. I told him that I said, I feel like, I'll back up. I won't go there yet. Because I busted out crying. I'm like, I don't know what else to do. Like, I'm telling you these things. And he's like, you got to be careful saying those words because that could mean something else. And I was like, well, I'm not a doctor. I'm just telling you what I can physically feel going on in my lungs, which is not related to the GI tract at all. But I'm like, here I am. So, well, I'll tell you. So anyway, I was telling him about the asthma symptoms. So he's like, oh, have you been diagnosed with these things by a Western medicine doctor? Or was it a function? I told him it was a functional medicine doctor. And he said, oh, so were your autoimmune issues diagnosed by a functional medicine doctor? And I said, yes. Because quite frankly, she's the only one that has done whole body blood work, has listened to what in the world, I'm not the only one that's listened because this lady that I'm seeing now is listening, but it's like she's the only one that has done blood work and testing and has given me answers and has told me about like the autoimmune paleo diet, which has helped to reverse some of my autoimmune diseases, or not reverse, but like put them into remission. And so that's good. I got a whole spiel about functional medicine doctor stuff. He doesn't believe in functional medicine doctors. I don't know. So I was kind of like, my body language was like, well, I'm still like fast forwarding my appointment. My legs were crossed, my arms were crossed, and I was like, oh, I'm probably like looking very closed right now and like not welcoming or inviting or friendly. And so I uncrossed my arms and I listened nicely. It's crazy. I didn't even, there's more, but okay, let me try to gather my thoughts. Basically, I don't have carcinoid syndrome, which is fabulous. My pipes sound like they are in good working order. I don't need a colonoscopy until I'm like 50, which is good because even if he referred it, I wouldn't physically feel comfortable going to have one right now because of the way that I react to all the things. I told him that too. I said, if you did recommend it, I would not be back because somebody could be cooking in the other side of my house and I'm in the living room like itching. I can't, I took ibuprofen and my brain wasn't right for 5 weeks. Like, I cannot risk drinking whatever chemical stuff you're going to give me and then that process. I'm not. So that will be like when I'm 50. So that's good. So that's the good news. But I don't know, like I gave the history. I don't think he read the history. I mean, I get it. It's a lot. It's a whole lot. But it's like, because I know, like even today I had trouble remembering symptoms because I've been with the H1 and H2 and the singular, that I've been kind of like decent without the throat clearing and all this stuff all the time. So it's kind of like not at the forefront of my mind right now. I don't remember what he told me. He doesn't believe in functional medicine. Do I really have asthma? Which is what they keep asking me. And I'm like, I don't know. Like they told me a long time ago. I already went and it didn't really go so well. Hi. They told me I have asthma, but the only reason the only time I have asthma is whenever I eat something I'm not supposed to, like Chinese food, which could be a gluten thing, and mold, and histamine, and all these other things. But back in like 2018, I think, 17, 18, I don't remember, I ate Chinese food, and it just about killed me. It felt like fish hooks attached to my lungs, and it just kept coughing and coughing and coughing and coughing nonstop. But I don't normally just have like an asthma attack. Oh, hey, I'm having an asthma attack right now. It's always like, oh, my little hair is growing. It's like, there's a food, or like fireworks. Fireworks will set me off too. Set me off. What else did he say? I said I was in the process of like trying to figure out if I have mast cell activation syndrome, and he's like, mast cell activation syndrome is very rare, which what I've read is it's not rare. Doctors think it's rare, but it's more common than they realize. And so whenever I'm sitting there, I can't really just tell him about GI symptoms, because it's either like I'll eat something but I don't have any food allergies according to tests, or it changes. There's cranberries, and then there's this, and then there's that, but the last time I had a scratch test, there was nothing. So I'm like, I don't know what's going on with my body. Wacky. So I went, what was I saying? It's like I can eat, like I ate the Chinese food that one time. That was bad. That was horrible. Like nonstop asthma, coughing up bubbles and fluid for like 4 days. That was awful. I don't ever want to do that again. That was horrible. Emergency room, urgent care, all this stuff. Inhalers, nebulizers, all these steroids, reacting to the steroids. It was horrible. So it's either like right here, or GI, or migraine, and inflammation, literally. Uh-oh, my phone's like doing something. I don't know what to do about that. I don't know. So he's like, I said, but the asthma stuff is not GI related. He said, no, let's stick to GI. I'm like, okay. So I said, okay, well, here's an example. I made some food. I made tomato sauce spaghetti stuff with grass-fed beef. I don't know why this thing's acting up. I think it's because of the light, like not shining into this thing. I don't know, metal in technical terms. I'm dark. Oh well. So I made tomato sauce with meat in it, and this was in December. This is after I started the Claritin and quercetin, and I had not started, I don't think, the Pepsid yet. So I made it, I ate it, I did great. I put it in Ziploc bags in the freezer, and one bag did not freeze entirely. So the next day I opened the freezer and I was like, oh, I'll eat that, because I won't have to like reheat it, which can cause issues too. So I ate it, and within 15 minutes, I was about to explode. I was driving the van. This is like a lot of information, but it's a GI post and you clicked it. So here we go. I was driving. I'm very shy and modest and reserved. I was on the phone video chat. Joshua was holding it or whatever with Jerry and my cousin, and I'm very shy. And I'm like sweating. I was like, this is horrible. Like I ate that stuff. I was clearing my throat. I had the drainage. I'm like, this is bad. This is so bad. It wasn't really so bad right away though, because I made it to In-N-Out. Joshua was going to get In-N-Out. I think we were on like a mommy son date too. That's horrible. So I'm in this long line, In-N-Out. There's no way to escape. And I'm like, I can't even talk on the phone right now. I have to get home. I have to get to the bathroom. My stomach was like, whoa. I was like second pregnancy, 7-month pregnant, bloated. It was horrible. And it hurt. My stomach hurt so bad. Like the seatbelt, I'm like loosening it. Oh, it was horrible. I made it home and it felt like an exorcism occurred. Seriously. I was about to bust the door down too because it was locked. But I didn't want to scare Romea and I didn't want to wake up neighbors or disturb the neighbors. So I'm like, I have got to go now. Like seriously, open the door. Joshua said he hasn't seen me move that fast in a while. So anyway, it was like, I got to go. So I basically told the doctor that, and he's just like, huh. So I see his little eyebrow, forehead's getting wrinkly, and I'm like, I see your furrowed brow. I'm describing all these different symptoms, and it's making him wrinkle his little forehead. I'm causing wrinkles on the man. And he's like, So I'm like, well, I mean, I'm here to tell you the situation. So I'm just going to tell you because I don't know where else to go. You know, I mean, like, maybe you'll hear something that rings a bell. So apparently he didn't hear anything that rung a bell, except he doesn't believe in functional medicine and avoid my triggers. I don't know what the heck my triggers are because they change. Avoid gluten because it does sound like I have a non-gluten reactive intolerance or something like that, which I agree. Somebody could be eating bread. The last few days with all these supplements, though, that I've been doing well, but I can sit next to somebody that's eating bread and not like lose it. Usually it's the itchy and clear my throat and itchy ears and all this other craziness. So he said he would suggest, the lighting is killing me. He would suggest that I lose some of the supplements. I kind of like blasting. Hold on. And I said, well, which ones? Because the only reason I'm physically able to sit in your office without having itchy eyelids and throat clearing and drainage is because I'm taking these supplements. Like, it's like kind of a miracle, except it's not a complete miracle. Because I feel a lot better. Like, I actually have brain cells to be able to think a little clearly. And, oh, he said brain fog is related to gluten. I already know that, but I'm not eating gluten. So, oh, I don't know which supplements I'm supposed to get rid of because all I do is take one for hormones, which I don't have ovaries, so I need something for my doggone hormones. And, I mean, I am taking, but it's standard mast cell activation syndrome protocol besides like another mast cell stabilizer, which I'm considering, but it's Claritin, Pepsids, it's a lot, Singulair, quercetin, stinging nettles, and a HISDAO, which helps my body to break down histamine. Ever since I started that one, I've been doing even better. So I was like, I don't know what to stop. So, or if I should stop it, because that's silly. So I told him, I said, well, I have fluid like build up in my lungs. Whenever I take the H1, it helps to, the Claritin, it helps to, it's not 100% though, but the first couple of days it really was really good. It helps to lessen the like inflammation and fluid drainage in my lungs and my nose and sinus like drainage and post-nasal drip stuff. But it wears off. I mean, I'm taking 30 milligrams of 24-hour Claritin 2 times a day, and I still have drainage. But, according to my research, because I'm like, I'm going to figure this out, nobody else can figure it out, let me learn what I can. There's H1 blocker, H2 blocker, and a let's see, H2 blocker. So your lungs are made up or have like two ways they make like fluid, I guess, because I have like an overreactive mucus producing something going on from what I've read. So the H1 can block like, I don't know, the epithelial or something part of it, and the H2 blocks some other thing in the lungs that's also producing fluid. So I always feel like there's fluid in my lungs. It's not a good feeling. I didn't even realize it was so bad until I started taking the H1, and I was like, oh shoot, I feel like I can literally feel my lungs filling with fluid, like my little alveoli sacs or whatever. And he said, whoa, you got to be careful saying you got fluid in your lungs, because that can mean I don't even know what, and I don't even know what. And I was like, oh, he said, well, did you have an x-ray or a CT scan or something to show that you have fluid in your lungs? I said, no, but I'm just a patient. Like, I'm just trying to advocate for myself. So if I say I feel like I have fluid in my lungs, you should probably listen to what in the world I'm saying. not discount it. I might not say the technical, I don't know the technical terms. I have fluid in my doggone lungs. All the time, like right now, I can literally feel it. So the H1 and H2 help with that. Thank you. So I said, well, I don't know. So he said, well, and I said, if you read my history, you can see way in the back that once I started these supplements that it's helped a lot. And he's like, okay, well, I can see the benefit of that. So perhaps you should keep those. I'm like, yeah. And then he gave me a whole spiel about leaky gut. It's a term that can be used, I don't know, randomly, and you can search it on YouTube, on Google, and find out information. And leaky gut can cause all kinds of issues, according to Google. I mean, it makes sense to me. And I have it, according to my functional medicine doctor. So now I'm like, I don't know what the heck. So I just said, thank you. And he offered the colonoscopy later, 10 years, and I said, no, thank you. So I cried in his doggone office. Add that to another doctor's office, because it's so overwhelming. You're sitting there telling these symptoms, and it's like, oh, well, I don't believe in this, and I don't believe in that, and you don't have this, and this is rare, so you can't have that. And I'm like, well, but are you listening to me? Are you listening to me? Like, I'm physically sitting in front of you telling you. I have papers, years, 40 years of history typed up for you physically to read, so I don't forget anything. And I'm like, aggravated. But I kind of went there not really knowing what to expect, because I didn't really remember why I was going in the first place. But I was like kind of expectant, like, okay, so maybe this guy will figure out something. And he was very nice. Thank you. He was very nice, and he had very nice, like, bedside manner. He wasn't rude. But it's like I told him, I said, I don't feel like the allergy doctor was listening to, he was looking at numbers on a paper and not looking at the person in front of him. And I kind of feel like that was the same today, because I'm telling you these things. And he's like, okay, well. So here I am. I went and had blood work done to check my thyroid levels or thyroid panel and my blood type, according to what my functional medicine doctor wanted, because I figured I'd call her, because and she helped me last time. And so she is thinking, if you didn't see the other update, she is thinking, can you please not slurp? Thank you. She's enjoying hot chocolate, I guess.
Smoothie.
Oh, smoothie. My functional medicine doctor in Texas said that she thinks, and this was like music to my ears, because it's like what I've been saying all along. I keep telling people I have mold exposure, but nobody really knows what in the world to do with that. So I talked to the functional medicine doctor, and she already knew some of my history, but I sent this big old packet of 8 pages of nonsense to her, and she said, I read your history. The last doctor that said they read my history was my PCP, and she said, I think, according to some of my other blood work, that she thinks I have mycotoxins from mold exposure that is causing my mast cells to activate. And I was like, oh, that's what I've been saying. Like, I didn't really, I knew I had mold in my body, but I did not know about mycotoxins, and I didn't really research much into mold and how it can affect the body so much. That's not accurate, because I know mold can affect the body, because I usually have crazy experiences with like crazy eyeball movements and stuff when mold is around. But to hear her actually say and validate what I've been saying about the mold exposure. Like, I don't react well to mold. So, that was kind of comforting. So, I have a test being mailed to me to test for mycotoxins. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. Mycotoxins and heavy metals. And I have some supplement that I have to take. She mailed that to me. I have to take some supplement that's supposed to release some of the mold or metals into my bloodstream or into my body, I guess. And then I'm supposed to take a 24-hour urine test to see if I have mycotoxins, which ones, and if I have heavy metal. So I imagine once I start that supplement, I'll have a few yucky days. I'm not looking forward to that because today I think is day 4 of kind of normalcy. And I like it. So I guess I'll just figure that out and keep y'all posted with that. Sorry I ramble, but there it is. No real answers, but kind of hopeful answers, but still kind of frustrated and upset and determined. Yeah, I'm determined to get this figured out. I got dancing to do. Thank you. Okay, so anyway, I gotta get back to like real life. Hey Bella, no. Okay, y'all have a great day.